kicking, never quitting. Focus sharp like a blade that's hitting. From white belt dreams to the master flow, Paul Coffey's got the mic, now the stories grow. Technique entails discipline and fire. Each guest brings truth to inspire. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise. It's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Old school, new school, all styles blend. From the mat to the mic, where the arts ascend. Philosophy deep, but the vibe stays tight. Martial minds meeting in the podcast light. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise. It's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Keep kicking. Keep kicking. Paul Coffey leads and the journey begins. Paul Coffey leads and the journey begins. Technique entails discipline and fire. Each guest brings truth to inspire. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise. It's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Keep kicking. Keep kicking. Paul Coffey leads and the journey begins.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Keep Kicking, the martial arts podcast where I have martial conversations with my martial arts friends. Today, I sit down with Cody. Cody, would you like to introduce yourself to people?
Yeah, what's going on? So my name's Cody, Cody Spikes, if you want the last name, sure. I'm a martial artist, social media influencer, whatever you want to call it, to the best of my ability. I teach classes currently in my small town, and I have a lot of opinions, but some of them are wrong, and that's okay. So that's me.
Well, before you get into that, I say that as a martial artist, the two things that we have are intent and perspective. We set our intent, and then we emphasize and we communicate our perspectives, and that's all that we have. So I don't think that there's a right or a wrong. I think that all those perspectives are valid, and we should listen to all of them, because if you listen, you can learn. Cody, so I've been trying to do this out the gate. I forgot on the last podcast, but thankfully, because I'm still beating myself up over forgetting on the last podcast, I've remembered this one. The hope is that it's a podcast for martial arts, martial artists, but maybe, just maybe, somebody was Googling about martial arts. They haven't taken a class yet, but they're thinking about doing it. And this podcast gets on their feed in some capacity. What advice do you give the non-martial artist watching this that is thinking about starting?
I think I tend to overcomplicate things, like even as I've done it my whole life, like even like I started when I was 5, so my perspective's a little, it's a little skewed to the just do it. But for me, I would just say keep it simple, find something local, easy, and my suggestion, if you start with a trial class, go once or twice a week, don't push yourself. Because we kind of do that with whatever, like the new year, new me stuff, where I'm gonna go try this and I'm gonna do 4 days a week, I'm gonna train at home, and you're gonna get tired in like a month. You're gonna quit, and then you're gonna think it's because you can't do it. That's not the problem. You just got to get used to the routine. So start small. Start small.
Start small is great. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, the rest of it's martial arts conversation.
Sweet.
Tell us how you got started in martial arts.
So, well, I guess I'll start with like my background and what I teach now. I started in Shotokan karate. It was a little more sportive than your like traditional Shotokan place. big emphasis on competition, like forms, and we did sparring, like we did like uh semi-contact. It was fun. I did that for like 10 years. It was pretty good.
Mhm.
I transitioned from there, went to Taekwondo. I had one more local. So when I was there, they were like, well, you could start over as a white belt, but we really need some help with our sparring team. And I was like, okay. So they were just like, hey, he's a karate black belt. Don't think he's like knowledgeable in everything we do. But they brought me on to help with their sparring teams and whatnot,
Mhm.
and we ended up doing pretty good. So I always tell people, I'm like, I know enough
Good.
about Taekwondo to not get beat up in it, but not enough to where I can like tell you the lineage and all that stuff. Um, I did some more work with
Mhm.
like some boxing schools. I'm doing jiu-jitsu now. Got training tonight, so heck yeah. But learned some security
Mhm.
stuff, did some security work, and now I teach more of like a I call it bouncy kickboxing because I'm not set like the Dutch guys are,
Okay.
but I'm very in and out. You see like that karate
Mhm.
sport footwork, but we do emphasize
Mhm.
any technique you do open-handed, like with no weapons, is the same techniques you can do with stuff in your
Mhm.
hands, so that we can translate it however you need to.
Mhm.
And hopefully that made sense to
Awesome.
somebody out there.
What keeps you going? No, absolutely. What keeps you going in martial arts?
What keeps me going, honestly, I quit for I'd say about a year. It was just a hard year. It was 2020. Everybody had a
Hmm.
hard year that year. Um, but I came back to it
Did
as a
something happen?
teacher.
Joking.
But yeah, well, I missed it apparently. I don't know. It was in my house all the time. But no, I came back and I was helping like some kids in my town. They just wanted to learn and they knew me, so I was like, okay. Uh, Started teaching and then I was like, I really enjoy seeing people grow. And that's really what keeps me going now. Like even when
Hmm.
I train, like the jiu-jitsu place I go to, they do like kickboxing as well and Taekwondo. So it's more than just one art.
Hmm.
I go and sometimes I'm just there to like be a
Hmm.
punching bag for people, but I'm fine with that because I enjoy
Hmm.
the growth for
Hmm.
others. That's what keeps me going really.
Hmm.
So I mean,
That's
it's
good.
it's personal. I had my issues like coming up. Everyone has like a backstory to martial arts, even if it's something like I saw Power Rangers on TV
Hmm.
and I love that. Uh, for me, I was always like
Hmm.
really smart, zero athleticism. I couldn't jump more than like 6 inches off the ground. It was just bad. Um, so that was my one endeavor of this is difficult. Why do I know how to do the moves, but I just can't. So it inspired me to kind of grow in that facet, and that's a little bit of my undertone of a reason.
That's awesome. I like that you stayed around so that you could jump 6 inches. That's good.
Yeah, NBA pro next year, man. I got you.
So that's right. Okay, so I don't know how familiar you are with the podcast, but there are some questions that I ask just as a need to shop them around as an instructor to other instructors. So this question starts with an omission. The omission is, as a lifelong practitioner of martial arts, I recognize that I'm equal parts sadistic and masochistic, and I am probably in the minority. That most students that come through the dojo doors are not that. They're something else. So then the question is, how do you teach a nonviolent individual the ability to speak violence when it is necessary?
Hmm. Could you could you rephrase the question for me so I can like depict exactly how I would answer it? I I don't want to like I don't want my answer to be too vague. Could you rephrase it somehow?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I teach a lot of people that are traumatized, a lot of people that are still living through their victimhood, so to speak. I don't know if you. My past is that I'm a childhood trauma survivor, and so my life's work is being pulled toward trauma informed martial arts instruction. So that's the genesis of where the question comes from. But when I was teaching some of my more violent individuals, one of them kind of said, but how do you justify being a good person and also being violent?
Mm.
And I explained kind of what we do as martial artists, like Cody's in front of me and Cody's my friend and we're having a conversation, but then it's time to spar or it's time to practice and the light switch changes and now it's not Cody, it's just a person. And that student said, but that's dehumanizing. And we as victims have
Mm.
been dehumanized. We know what it feels like and we don't want to do it to somebody else. And so then it becomes my job as an instructor to figure out how do I teach this person, this group of people who don't want to dehumanize anybody, who don't really want to hurt anybody? How do I teach them how to navigate a violent, dangerous situation um, while maintaining what bit of humanity they're holding on to of themselves?
Okay, okay, okay. I was gonna go that way, but I didn't want to make it like too like philosophical. Yeah, I got you. Well, for me,
You can't do that on this podcast.
okay, cool, 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 cool. Sweet, sweet. Um, I'm
No,
also like a super country dude, so like I don't want to like seem like I know things and I don't. But let me go like this. I
you're
have
good.
students who are really timid. A lot of people that come to martial arts, especially in my area, are really timid. They they don't really know how to speak up for themselves. They're really quiet, and that's the opposite of me. I've
Mm-hmm.
always been loud. I have a hard time shutting my mouth, so podcasts are great for me apparently. But um, no, usually what I tell them is anything we do, if you want to under, understand it, we take the like the combative mindset to everything. Like whether if it's like academics, whether if
Mm-hmm.
it's just hobbies or whatever, you have to quote unquote attack it. It, it comes to a point where
Yep.
I'm like, what is humanity? I get it. They're like, no, well, I don't want to like, destroy the person in front of me, which is I think that's better than the dudes who are like, oh no, it goes. Once they put their hands on me, it's over. I don't want to. I don't like those guys. I can't stand
Right,
that
right.
because I'm like,
I see
okay, you've
red.
never been, yeah. Oh, the see red, yeah, man. Like you've never been in court of law. You don't understand. Like you can't just slam someone on concrete and then, oh well, I'd rather be judged by
Right.
12 than carried by 6. I'd rather neither personally. I'd rather just go home and be with my family. But I'm, you know what? Hats off to them. But no, to train someone to learn, like
Right.
to be in violence without being a violent person. Sometimes you just can't choose. And I tell them that nothing is worse than somebody stealing your ability of choice. Once that's taken from you as a human,
Mm.
you're not human anymore. You're a product of whatever system has taken that choice from you. So you can't,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wish the world worked in a way that I could just go, you know what, just avoid it, period. Yeah, just run away from it. That's something we'll get into later. The runaway thing. I wish we could just run away. If that was the case, I would train track
Mm-hmm.
every day and I would forget martial arts if that was the key to safety. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Problem is though, bad guy, easy way to say it, approaches you with other intent and your only option is to not be involved in violence. Bad guy doesn't care. Bad guy just does
Absolutely.
what he wants to. So at some
Mm-hmm.
point, you just got to realize you're protecting the
Mm-hmm.
humanity of future self by quote unquote losing it now. You prolong it basically. So maybe that was
I love
maybe
that
that was
answer.
cool.
That's a good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's good. That's a good
Sweet.
answer. It's a really, really good answer. Uh, what do you think the average martial arts practitioner neglects in their own practice?
Ooh, the average. Okay, average across the world and average I deal with. I'm gonna answer for both. Average, just in general, probably the person watching this is
Mm-hmm.
training for their actual goals. Like coaches and
Mm-hmm.
instructors have the signs on their school, on their windows, self-defense, fitness, confidence. Yet when they show up to training, they're not really getting those goals. They're, it's not that they're
Mm-hmm.
not getting them at all. They're just not focusing on them. I signed up for martial arts to learn self-defense. Yet when I go to class, all we do is do combat sports and hit bags all day. And there's that can help. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't think it doesn't. But if your
Mm-hmm.
goal is for self-defense and all you're training against is guys who know how to properly punch, how to properly kick, you're defending against flying side kicks and, perfect executed takedowns, that's not self-defense. If you're getting assaulted by somebody who can execute a perfect technique, that's a dangerous man. That's a dangerous world out there. So I would think for the
Right.
average martial artist, you're missing actually getting your goals tailored to. If you're there for fitness and you're getting injured
Mm-hmm.
every 2 weeks because your fitness is hard sparring, leave that place. Please go somewhere that's more fitness oriented. There's nothing wrong with training for fun, training for fitness,
Mm-hmm.
training for self defense, but make sure your goals align with the gym you're at. And then the guy I deal with is
Absolutely.
uh, have more fun. There's a lot of serious people I deal with. No, I train martial arts so I can defend my family. Cool, cool. But dude, your family also wants to have fun, and your entire life revolves around being Batman. I can't do that, dude. I gotta have some fun. Yeah, my some techniques I do love it, love it, love it. You can be Batman. You can be Batman. Some of these guys they can't deal with it. Um, some techniques I do in
Right.
sparring, like I'll do like these spinning kicks that I hate doing because I suck at them honestly. But they're like, oh, that would never work in the street. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't do that in the street at all, actually. That's why we're in the training room. That's why I'm in my gym and I can have fun. So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
plus, the more fun you have, the more
Mm-hmm.
you'll do it. So, logic there. Just
Absolutely.
have more fun, do more stuff, learn more things, be more successful. Like, I don't know. To me, that makes sense.
No, absolutely. 100% makes sense. Uh, so what's interesting about that is what you say of having more fun. I have a mentor or an instructor or a friend, and he said that we have five things. We have like the first thing as a martial artist, we're a student, and then the second thing is that we're a teacher, and then maybe we're a competitor, and then maybe we're like a founder, or what have you, like people that have been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years. They now write their own way forward, and all that's good, but we oftentimes forget this, which is just the fun, the playfulness, the improv of it. And he was articulating that there has to be a balance for all of the five, or if you don't do the five, then all of the four, or if you're not also a competitor, then all of the three, or if you're not a teacher, then those four. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I do think that is vastly important. Um, if you could give every martial arts practitioner in the world one thing, technique, philosophy, thought, concept, idea, what would it be?
Um, man, there's a tie between two. So the first one that came to mind was humility, like constant
Mm,
humility. That like, but the one that like kind of snuck up on me a little bit was well, no, let's keep humility because the second thing I was going to say was I don't know a simple word for it, but constantly like testing your theories. Basically, you can
Yeah,
say
sure.
my martial art is number one. Sure, like say that. It would be kind of weird if you didn't think your martial art that you train is the number one. Like that's the confidence that you need. But the humility is the constant testing of that. Like, okay, I love
Hmm.
for me, I think like if I had a friend approach me, hey, I have three schools around me. One's boxing, one's karate, one's jujitsu. What do I train? You get this question all the time. What martial arts should I train? Da da da. One, I say take a
Right.
trial class in each.
Right.
Like go, I don't know, go find out what they are.
Hmm.
You could go to the boxing gym and it be poor hygiene in there. Not no diss on boxing, but if there's poor hygiene in the boxing gym, I don't want to train there because I don't know what I'm going to catch there. I can go to the jiu-jitsu school and they are really
Hmm.
kind, really nice, but their training schedule is crazy. I can't keep up with it. And then the karate place might be perfect for you. Who knows?
Right.
But
Hmm.
the humility is going,
Hmm.
okay, jiu-jitsu seems the most quote unquote legit. Well, we can discuss that later, but for most people, they say jiu-jitsu is really legit. You see it in UFC, you see it in like the cool YouTube clips, world star videos and whatnot. So problem is though, the humility has to come in play and go, well, where does it not work? When is it not legit? Pulling guard works, yes, having great control, making sure you can keep your posture correct, absolutely. Leg locks aren't good for the common person though. And if that's something your gym trains
Hmm.
constantly, I mean, you can try to straight ankle lock somebody that's trying to like assault you, cool. But if they have any type of weapon in play, your leg is exposed bad. And there's no knock on it. Like I'm not saying like, oh, well that
Hmm.
means jiu-jitsu's trash. I'll throw it all away. Same thing, karate, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. But the humility comes in play, and then you start realizing, oh, maybe I do need to venture out. Maybe I do need to cross train. Maybe I do need to do same art, different gym.
Hmm.
Humility will always keep you going and going and
Right.
going and learning.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, humility,
And that's a
humility.
mentality that everybody needs. That's a mentality that my my peers, people that have been doing it for as long or longer than I've been doing it, it's a mentality that not all of them have. It's a mentality that I think more of the elders in martial arts need in order to benefit the art.
Yes,
You know, I don't think that, I think the art grows stagnant if we as instructors do not maintain some student mentality. So, you don't think jujitsu is the best art in the world, then?
it. Oh man. See, this is where they'll get me on TikTok, man. Cause fun fact, when I post questions
That's
of like,
right.
what's the best martial art? Of course, it's a subjective question. Like, of course, there's no true number one. Sometimes I just ask questions for the sake of conversation.
Hmm.
This is how you got to get people engaged to have a conversation.
For sure.
Fun fact, if I
For
go up to someone who disagrees with me and start
hmm.
screaming at them about how dumb they are, they're not going to listen to what I have to say. Like I have to like
Right.
invite them in with something.
Right.
Um, if you want to call that
Mhm.
baiting or not, cool. I mean, that's not any of my business, but still engagement. So, I mean, whatever, I engaged.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
jujitsu, my only problem with jujitsu is the sport directly influences what gyms train. Any gym that has a combat sport tied to
Yes.
it
Yes.
is what
Yes.
will dominate there. Right now,
Hmm.
the leg lock game is crazy in jiu-jitsu. If you can't do like 50-50, the transition to
Hmm.
like your different positions there, still white belt here. I'm not saying I'm like don't don't roll with me, bro. You'll smoke me. Just whoever that is, like, oh yeah, this dude thinks he knows talk about. No, you'll probably get me. But in those positions, we're still point oriented. Um, Boxing has a lot of setups.
Yes.
Like the jab is to get you to find openings, and if you're training for self-defense, you
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to figure out if they drop their hands every time you throw a jab. You gotta go. Like you don't. There's
Mm-hmm.
no there's no waiting period. If you're in a street fight, I hate that term by the way.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hate that term because people think of like, oh, you're talking about girl. Okay, well, let's go outside and handle this like men. Like that. If you're doing that, you're stop. Be an adult. Uh, sorry if this is
Right.
rude, but get a job.
Right.
Like I got to get paid, dude. I can't be fighting people out here because whatever. I mean, I got to make money. So, but nah,
Mm-hmm.
jujitsu is great. It is a really cool art because of how it has to work. Constant humility in there. You can't be
Mm-hmm.
egotistical in jujitsu. Try it, and then like the first month you're getting smashed.
Absolutely.
That person will find you. For me though,
Absolutely.
if I had to like
Mm-hmm.
pick a best art, I'd have to go. I always think of it like this. If I walk into the average school, train there 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
If my goal
Mm-hmm.
was strictly for self-defense, we're gonna do that first because that's my main goal when I teach my classes. Like if you're combat sports, it's different. If you're for
Okay.
fitness and fun, this is different too. So again, it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
The average place I would
Mm-hmm.
say to go train for self-defense would have to be either judo or wrestling. I I'm big on control when it comes to self-defense.
And why do you say that?
Uh, perfect. I I'm big on control when it comes to self-defense. The option of control. Um,
Okay.
these two arts
Mm-hmm.
take. I think judo does a little bit better because of the clothes, the gi, and all that cool stuff. Because as much as no gi guys think
Mm-hmm.
it's like lame, gi is a little bit more legit because I'm I'm not on the beach 24/7. I'm not fighting people with their shirts off. So I mean, they can still apply, but I'm just saying. Uh, for me though, the
Right.
control aspect, I've seen wrestlers take people down and hold them there without hurting them. That's a big thing. A lot of techniques
Mm-hmm.
that striking arts
Mm-hmm.
teach for self-defense can are useful, like no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is though, is if they apply
Mm-hmm.
too much force, deal too much damage, it
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't benefit them anymore. In fact, it may make their chances of successful self-defense, aka getting away, not being caught up in court of law and doing over use of force. I find that the arts who do
Mm-hmm.
grappling with good control without hurting their partner do amazing. And then not to mention the athleticism
Mm-hmm.
and pressure is undoubtedly amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is coming from someone who's
Mm-hmm.
trained limited in these arts. Like I'm not saying this is like a wrestling fanboy. Like I'm not sitting here telling you like,
Mm-hmm.
go train in Dagestan with Khabib and all them. Don't I mean, yeah, if you can, go do that, please. But um, I'm also coming from a sense
Right.
of I've seen these guys work with high level grapplers again. Like of course you're competing in wrestling. You're going against somebody who knows what they're doing. To take them down with
Mm-hmm.
an effort, like they're not totally exerting themselves sometimes and still not hurting the other person. I think it's a no brainer for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that in the average wrestling place.
Mm-hmm.
It, arts that are
Right.
popular are very, very loose in the term. Karate is the biggest example because karate
Mm-hmm.
literally just means fighting empty-handed. I know they're like the Chinese, like it comes from Chinese hand and empty hand and all that stuff, but it's pretty much just open hand fighting. And then you learn like Kobudo and
Mm-hmm.
things like that in there too. Problem is though, Ishin Ryu, Shorin Ryu, Shito Ryu, Shotokan, Kyokushin, and then not only that, but you also have different coaching styles. You also have different mindsets. How often do you compete? Do you compete at all?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a broad martial art. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, like we first talked about, it's all about narrowing down to your goals. So If my goals are self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure when I show up there, I'm getting constant pressure, constant realistic pressure. Karate can
Yes.
definitely do that, 100%. Boxing can do the same. Muay Thai can do the same. It's just the room for fitness in the striking arts is very big because it's fun
Mm-hmm.
to hit a heavy bag. It is fun, and you can get the people training in there just to
Yeah.
do that. Grappling, on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
it sucks. Like if you're there for fitness, it sucks because you got a dude on top of you who's like 50 pounds over your weight, just like in mount. Like I'm gonna go hit the treadmill. I'm not doing this. Like, I mean, I don't know, but that's
That
my take. And
that's very
again,
fair.
I mean, I say that loosely. Again, it's opinionated. So
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I think that what you're saying more than anything is that it's important as a martial arts student or practitioner to be honest with yourself as to why you're doing this. There are some people that are just curators of the arts. They love the art, and so they want to embody that, and they want their form looks beautiful and pristine because it's like going to a kung fu museum and seeing the kung fu moves on display,
right,
but they don't have any desire to make that into an application. And there's nothing wrong with that, but more people are not honest with themselves about what their intent is. And if your intent is to be a curator, then make that clear. If your intent is to look like a badass in an anime, well, then that means that you're going to look like you're going to perform a certain way, but that's not how fighting is not performative. Or if it's self-defense, a word that you have used, which I no longer use,
hmm,
um, it's it is much different. The reason I don't use the word self-defense is because I changed it to self-preservation. Defense has this word that some people mistake, and it makes people think like, oh, I got to start attacking people, like because
yeah,
it's kind of hard edged. So I've changed to self-preservation, and then the idea is just that we are preserving um, ourselves and our interests as best as we can. I will also add, like you talk about how wrestling, you've seen people be subdued and not hurt. I kind of try and teach my students ways that you can subdue somebody without, yeah, with mitigating the amount of
yeah,
damage you give to somebody. It's a physical altercation. Somebody's going to get a scraped elbow or a bruise, but I'm talking about being able to stop a fight without knocking somebody out or splitting somebody open or breaking an elbow in the process. I'm talking about minimal damage to neutralize a situation. Um, and I do like that. That's an approach that far too few martial artists have, and more of us need, yet for some reason we don't have it.
yeah.
So,
I do
anyway,
find it
soapbox
weird.
over there.
I do find it
Mm-hmm.
weird when like we talk about self-defense. Uh, Self-preservation is a better term. The only problem I have with using self-preservation, and the only reason I don't use it is
Mm-hmm.
because it's lame. It's gonna sound like some McDojo stuff here, but people won't like if you put that on your building, like self-preservation, they won't buy into it because now it's like, what is that? I'm not doing that. Now, you're
Okay,
right in your definition though.
sure,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
sure.
eh, I'm not knocking it.
But
I'm not knocking
so
it,
if I'm
but
running a commercial school, if
yeah.
if I'm running a commercial school, just to play devil's advocate, why do
Okay.
I even have to have self defense on the outside? Like, why can't I
Hmm.
just say such and such martial arts, and then you come in and you have a conversation with me about the martial arts? And I say that because in 2012, I
Hmm.
brought all my students together and I said, bad news, good news. Bad news is that I'm not teaching martial arts anymore. Good news is you don't have to find another place to learn martial arts because you can still learn it here if that's what you want. I am now teaching philosophy in motion. So you bring your philosophy, you tell me what that philosophy is, and I show you the motion or the techniques that go with it. And I said, and the reason that I'm doing that is because, like, some of you all want to compete, some of you all are here for self preservation, some of you all are here to learn the martial arts, some of you all are here for fitness. There's 4 different philosophies laid out in front of us, and we can learn the same technique with different emphasis to get the same job done. And so, just like to play the devil's advocate, why do we on the outside of our schools need those fancy words and all of the flash? Why can't we represent ourselves with more long form conversation? And I don't
I
know.
think
I'm sure there's a plethora of answers. I don't have a marketing degree, but
right. Well,
but,
so I worked for a few like sales positions. I'm not naming the companies, but
okay,
basically you would know the names of them. Like it's not
yeah,
hard. Some were like phone providers, some were like cars, and this, that, the other. Well, something that I
hmm
noticed was they would put obvious advertisements out. Like, for example, a phone one would be like, "Come here for fastest service under blank." Duh. Like,
mm,
I would like I would know. Like, I wouldn't come into a place and you would pitch me, "Hey, yeah, we have really slow service here, but we have good culture." Like, boom. I get it. For me, why I would relate to like posting self-defense out there, especially here in America. This may apply different elsewhere. I know here in America, very fast-paced environment. If I'm walking by a place and I see
hmm
just random art on the building, whatever my perception of that art is how I'm going to react to that building. If there's no descriptions down there, like what they're doing, um,
mm,
I I don't know your culture until I step in. For like the baiting on the engagement thing, I think those words on the walls, the windows, whatever,
hmm
are the engagement to come in. Now,
hmm
I do get what you're saying though. You can't
mm,
just have it on your window and then never give it lip service, like never talk about what self-defense is or never talk about what you're doing. Like you
hmm
have to, once they're
hmm
invited in, now that's when you get to your stuff where you're like, okay, we're not learning martial arts here. We're learning self-preservation. We're learning philosophy and motion. Oh, okay, so this is not just all about
hmm
kicking people in the groin and eye poking, or it's not just about doing the perfect side kick. No, okay, this is about like making me better as a person, keeping me in a healthy attitude. This is real self-preservation. Um, I think there's a good mix of both.
hmm
I like that you like can phrase it to your students. I have a hard time like phrasing things. Like I come up with the idea, but my pitch is horrible sometimes. Um, but I think if we combine the
Why is
ideas of
that?
like, for me, is because I love analogies. Oh my gosh, I love analogies. It helps my brain so much. Like I
hmm
any classroom I've been in, they're like, "Oh, this is the analogy king back here. If you can't figure it out, just ask him." And I'll come up with crazy stuff. And sometimes it clicks and I
hmm
see it. The next time, it's like deer in headlights just looking at me. What are you talking about, dude? I don't know. Just skip what I said. Let's go to the next thing. So, it's also me being still young in my teaching. Like the teacher on my own with like no one above me. I've only been doing it for 3 years now. So
Okay,
I'm a
you're a
young
babe,
coach.
but you keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. And like so I'm not
hmm
when I get comments of like, "Oh, well, that's not how you should pitch it," or "You should do this and you should do that." Well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That like that's why I'm doing this. Teaching
hmm
is learning just as much as it's
hmm
teaching, just as much as learning, like vice versa. So Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's
Absolutely.
me. So,
So,
yeah,
um, being young and teaching is good because you are allowed more grace to make more mistakes. You know what
I
I'm
noticed
saying?
that.
Like I don't know how long you've done martial arts in your totality. I have been studying for 32 years and teaching for 28,
Okay.
and it will be 33 years and teaching for 29 May 20th. But when you've been teaching for that long, there's an expectation that I take more time to choose my words. There's an expectation my students call my brain a Rolodex of technique. And
Oh,
when they ask a question and I pause, they say the Rolodex is spinning, give him a minute.
that's funny. That's funny.
There's some validity to that. That I've been doing martial arts for 32 years and I have stayed a student the majority of the 32 years. And I say the majority of the 32 years, there for every year in that 32-year block of time, I have studied at least one new art, concept, thought, idea, philosophy every year. I have also taught every year of those 32 years. Have I taken
Mm,
time off? Yeah, I had bout with kidney stones. I've had some family issues where I had to take time off, this, that, and the other, but I've never taken an entire year off, you know? And so what comes with this tenure of time is that they are expecting you to articulate things in a way, maybe not in a way that they get it the right way, but they want it articulated in a way that it is clearly spoken that first time. And the thing that you have going for you is they're like, he's new to this still, so they don't
yeah.
expect that. I'll tell you, once you creep up to 10 years, maybe even past 10, that changes. So you get your wording together around year 12 for me. It was.
Where
So let the internet. I don't know if you know this or not. Being somebody that is putting yourself out there on the internet, it's not a very friendly place.
man, it's bad.
So
It's really bad.
what what made what made you look at the internet and go, I want to start talking to these people?
Well, at first, I was just doing it like locally. Like I was just posting like my like towns or my county's like Facebook group and just, hey, I got this going on. If you want to come check me out, cool.
Mm,
And then I had a few replies, hey, well, what do you do? I was like, oh, I mean, well, dang,
mm,
words kind of suck here. Maybe I should just like do videos. Then I had videos up. And then I was like, well,
mm,
let's just throw them on, throw them on TikTok real quick. That everybody does that anyway. So let's just see what happens. And my first time on there, I think my first
mm.
video was like me doing like a round kick on a
Oh,
bag and like some like
uh,
city. All right, so put up some videos locally, and then I had just like, you know what? Let me just post them on TikTok. I already got these up. Let's go ahead. So, first video I posted, uh, the comment was, "Yeah, dude, why'd you post this? This isn't good." And I just laughed. I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "I just did a roundhouse kick. I mean, I'm not. I didn't say I was like Scott Adkins or somebody, but my
mhm.
bad." And then, but that introduced me right there. Why I keep doing it? Because I was just gonna quit. I mean, not that I wouldn't get nothing out of it, but it was just like there was no real reward
Mhm.
until I kind of searched for one, and then I found like I suffer from imposter syndrome. Like I'm sure you know what that is. Like where you
Yep.
I, my accolades don't match up how I feel about my accolades, and the social media thing was kind of getting me used to. the nonsense. Like, oh, well, if you were a real black belt, you wouldn't do this, or if you were a teacher, you wouldn't say this. Why are you
Mm,
doing this when you should like that's just all that is something that they have heard or they've seen, like you said, from their own perspective. I can't let
mm,
that affect me because even if they're right, I can't just uproot my whole life because one person randomly on the internet has a point. Like it
mm,
takes more than that to actually change somebody. But no,
mm,
the internet is a very funny place. And what really got me like confident in it was I go on like pro fighters pages or like these guys with like beautiful technique, and man, you can see the
mm.
comments on there too. Oh, he's not a real fighter.
Right.
Oh, in fact, my coach could do it better. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, so you just can't please everybody for real.
Mhm,
Because if you
mhm.
think this guy's trash, you're not even gonna click on my video. What? But I I don't know. I find it funny sometimes. I kind of sit down with my friends and we'll go through the comments and they're like, "Dude, this was bad." I look at it, I bust out laughing. My favorite one is anytime I post a video of me kicking, punching, doing whatever, and then it's just a
Mhm.
picture of a firearm that and they're like, "Can't do nothing to this." You got
Uh,
me there. Oh no,
when I
I
first
can't
of all,
punch bags no more.
when I have that person in my class, I
Yeah,
get extremely close to them. I get very, very close to them. Close enough if I wanted to, I could probably kiss them. And I would say, I need to ask you, how close are to gun right now? And you see they go white.
yeah, yeah,
Because you're relying on something that's not with you. So I like that is a fallacy to me, and I don't agree with that perspective. The gun part. Um,
yeah.
it, I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome a little bit. First of all, I
Okay.
think that is one of the human conditions. I do think that we all experience it, and I think that like it would be disingenuous of me to say I'm sitting here for 32 years of training and I don't feel it. It's not something that ever necessarily goes away. I do think that there are people that navigate it better than others or more with more grace than others, but I think that it is something that we fundamentally all have. I don't think that that is a reason to quit, although I have seen instructors that quit because of that. I appreciate that you acknowledge it and that you continue on your pursuit. And then I have also made it a point on this podcast and off of this podcast amongst some of my other friends to say if there's a technique that exists on the internet and we think that it is in some way, shape, or form wrong, what we cannot do is go, that's wrong. That's not the way I would do it. That's wrong. It's my opinion. That's wrong. It's bullshit. Garbage. But what we can do is we can respond with our own video and say, that's an interesting perspective, but let me show you how I do it. And that moves the conversation forward. And the reason that I think that that is important is the same reason or the same teaching that I would like to give you on imposter syndrome. And that is one of my mentors said, you cannot, we will never be able to give to martial arts what martial arts has given to us, but we can try. And the biggest point in that whole statement is that we can try. And if you don't keep going, you don't try. And so then everything that martial arts gave to you is a wash because you've given up on it. And so I think that you should look at it that way and view it that way. And thank the haters. Because as another friend of mine, Dr. Conrad, says, if you have haters, it means you're doing something right.
Yeah. I love that
Well,
quote. I love that quote.
mm-hmm.
Um,
um,
no, for me,
uh, yeah.
with the hater thing. For me,
Mhm.
every time I get a hate comment, I two things I'll do. One is either I'll just respond with thank you, or two, I'll respond with a good thumbs up. The gun comments though, I just respond with the trash emoji just because like I think it's an equal response. I don't know. Here's gun, here's trash. Cool. Like I mean, to me that's fair. It's all fair game. Um, no, I don't let that stuff get to me, especially when, like you said, what are you gonna do now? Or hey, fun fact,
Mhm.
have you ever been through an airport? You can't
Nope.
necessarily carry firearms in there. You gotta have like super high clearance to do that. Most of y'all don't.
Right.
Most of y'all just buy a gun from a pawn shop and then have one. Uh,
Right.
now now you're in the airport. Now somebody has hands on you. You got 3 minutes
Mhm.
till security gets to you. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah, I mean, you just
Mhm.
sit there and tell them about how what you would do to them outside. Oh, I'm sure, you know. I mean, we're
Tell
all cool with the
tell them about
comments.
how
I mean,
nice your gun is.
I'm yeah, man. Oh man, if I had it on me right now, I'd totally be out of this situation. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, if I trained more, I'd probably be a pro right now, but I'm not. So, oh well, we're here now.
Right.
But
Dr.
those
Conrad.
those comments will come to me.
Dr. Conrad is an older martial arts practitioner who's been doing it for quite a long time. He is in phenomenal shape for his age. He has a brilliant perspective on all things martial art, and his technique is pristine. He has beautiful technique, excellent execution, and he will post videos and he still gets hate. And the way he responds to his hate is everybody that has a negative comment, he says, "Thanks for stopping by." But it's like if you have a problem with his technique, you're never going to find a technique that you enjoy ever.
Yep.
So, uh, just reinforcing what you've said. Uh, Cody, I try and keep these at about an hour, and we're almost there. What didn't I get? What didn't I ask? What didn't you get to say?
Um, back to kind of how we first started.
Mm-hmm.
If you're training right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would highly suggest to people not only just to train into a different art, but train with a different mindset. If you're super serious
Mm-hmm.
when you show up to practice, try goofing off for a training session. Just let your
Mm-hmm.
coach know, hey, I'm here to just kind of relax today. And
Mm-hmm.
if your coach has a problem with that, harsh suggestion, find a different coach because you're a human being. You can still be treated like a human being in martial arts. Um,
Absolutely.
if you are, if you don't take it seriously, you just think, oh, I'm just here for a little bit of fun, a little bit of practice, but I can handle myself if it goes down. I
Mm-hmm.
suggest showing up to a class where things don't go your way. I think a good sign for real pressure testing is failure. I mean, if you failed a technique in your like practice, you're getting real training. Failure is
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed in violence. Violence happening is failure. So by default, failure will happen in violence. Um, I, I don't I don't say this as an expert. I just say this as somebody who has had multiple mentalities coming through martial arts. Being a teenager in it, wanting to just, oh yeah, I hope that that one school bully steps to me and I show him my legit, like I'm past all that.
Mm-hmm.
To the whole, oh, I just do it for fun. To now I have things to my name. Like I'm in my mid 20s. I'm growing, so things are a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more serious now. I encourage multiple mindsets, multiple arts, and if you have an opinion, try to go prove yourself wrong about it. It's a really weird way to
Mm.
phrase it, but prove yourself wrong. Like I think this art is complete BS. Go do it. Go do it. Like just whatever. Uh, oh no, you're out of money for a month. You're okay. Like you can get it back.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do that constantly. I prove myself wrong all the time. It's fun for me. So
Hmm. Love it. Cody, where can people that are watching this find you?
honestly, right now, I would say TikTok for sure. I now is it's like at SM Combatives. It's like my brand. Just Cody S is
Mhm.
cool though. YouTube
Mhm.
is coming. I'm keeping it private until I have a
Okay. Hmm. Absolutely. And what part of the world are you? What part of the world are you in if people wanted to come take a class?
boom. My phone's being crazy right now. Where can you find me part of the world? I forget I'm a real person sometimes. So you can find me in South Georgia. I'm in a very
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Cody, I like to thank everybody that sits down to have these conversations with me for the time, because time is a precious commodity that we do not have enough of. And I am grateful that you gave your time to me. But secondly, because having this conversation, you're now a part of my martial arts journey, whether you like it or not. And I cannot thank you enough for that. I want to thank everybody that watched or listened or some combination of this. I hope, like always, that you got something out of it, and keep kicking.
take
Bye.
care.